So, it's been a while since I've done one of these. This is serious prep videos. I've done them for quite a few tournaments, and I found them helpful. These are really selfish videos. Like, this is preparation for me, for tournaments. And I happen to click record and you guys get to see it as well, so hopefully it's somewhat useful. But the main reason that I do it is for myself, because it actually helps me focus more on just the preparation that I'm trying to do for a tournament. If I'm doing it without this recording, then it is a lot more lackluster than it could be otherwise. At least that's what I found in previous tournaments. When I started it, it was back in 2019. Wolfglick did his series tournament prep with his Palkia team that he did back then. I stole it, shamelessly, and then did series tournament prep for the next two regionals and got top 4 and top 8 in them. So it worked. And then I've done it for a few other tournaments as well, like I did it for EUIC 2019, and I made it into day 2. So it's reasonable, and I'm hoping it does another good thing for me for this EUIC coming up as well. Because I'm in a very interesting position I didn't realise I would be in, looking into the season at the start. Because I was just going for my Worlds invite. I missed it last year. I whiffed Japan on the final tournament. If I'd have got any points at the regional, the last regional, then I would have still made it into Worlds, but I didn't. I went 4-5 at that tournament, I think it was. So yeah, completely whiffed it. Probably should have done tournament prep for this, for that tournament as well. But I've already got my Worlds invite. Plus like 100 CP on top of what you need for the Worlds invite. Like I basically got the US qualification. Even though you need 100 points less for EU. I'm at 497 at the time of this recording. So I basically have the US invite. But that puts me in the position where I could, with a reasonable EUIC result, get the paid trip to Hawaii. Now the intention was get the trip to Hawaii. And I've got the trip to Hawaii. And now I need the paid trip. Well, need is a strong word. I would very much like the paid trip to Hawaii because I'm actually in range to be able to do it. I think I'm like 120-ish below the current 22nd in Europe, which is what I need to be able to get the paid trip. Obviously, I prefer the top 16 rather than the 17th to 22nd, which are all paid trips, but top 16 gets that round 1 bye at World, so that's preferable. If I only get 22nd, I'll take it. It's fine. But I need a good EUIC result for that. I'm grinding locals, and at the time that this would go out, I've hopefully grinded like 4 locals in between now and EUIC. Because this is like, just to date this is the 10th of March. So I've got like a bit under a month to get ready for EUIC. This is a lot, like really rambly is what I'm going for. Like you probably already realized these are much less structured videos than any of the guides or any of the Believe in Boit stuff. This is just me talking and I happen to click record. So I might even forget to put music. If I put music, background music behind it, that's good. But I might forget to for these videos. But yeah, I need a good result. So need to actually focus on my tournament prep. This is currently the team that I would bring were it to be tomorrow. So basically, I did bring this team to the Utrecht special event. And I thought that Magma Storm Heatran with Zoom Lens was completely busted and Sneasler with White Herb is completely busted. I was correct. I sucked. Like, I could have easily gone 9-0 in that Utrecht special event, and I just threw away so many games. I made so many bad mistakes that I really shouldn't have been making. It wasn't the team's fault, it was my fault. I played really bad at the Utrecht special event, so I still think the team is reasonable. So it was basically built around the Zoom Lens Heatran. I think the Heatran's really good in the meta at the moment. And then I tried like Assault Vest, and then that was rubbish, and like a load of other sets. And I was like, well, I still think Heatran's good. It's kind of gotta be Magma Storm, doesn't it? I can't do Magma Storm when it's 75% accurate. Wait a minute. I've been raving about Zoom Lens in some of my guides. Why not on Heatran? And it's absolutely the correct item. I'm having no question. This is the correct Heatran by a mile. The Zoom Lens Magma Storm, I could not use another Heatran at this point. 90% accurate Magma Storms if you are moving after your target, which with your low speed, then you are almost certainly doing so anyway. The 4 IVs, it's either 4 or 5, I think, whatever hits 75. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 is what I happened to get in my Legends Arceus game, which was very convenient, because now I can actually be as slow as I would like. Between the 4 IVs and 0 IVs, there's 2 stat points, and they don't matter. There's nothing in between 73 and 75, so it doesn't matter. So I was quite lucky that my Heatran popped out perfectly for my Zoom Lens Magma Storm. So that was nice, so I didn't have to go and soft reset or anything. Can you even soft reset in... How long does it take in Arceus to get to Heatran? Anyway, it doesn't matter, because I got it. So, yeah, then the Magma Storm was really, really good. So, Sneasler as well, I thought was pretty sweet. I was talking to some of my UK friends, and they were saying about Okie Dokie being really good. And it's like when we were casting the we being me and Lee Provost, we were talking about how he thinks Okie Dokie is super good into like the top 12 of Pokemon, and he's correct. It is. Fighting Poison's really good against it. But this is a Fighting Poison. Then I started looking at this and it's like, oh, this gets Fake Out. Oh, but then you don't get the Guard Dog, so Intimidate's going to be annoying. But wait a minute, it doesn't have to be. What if you just give yourself well, Clear Amulet doesn't work, but what about White Herb? Because that will activate Unburden. Wait, I can activate Unburden with my own close combat, so I've got great synergy with that item. Ideal. Diaclaw is a stupid move, like stupid busted move. Like 50% chance to kill the stasis is great. And then I managed to just scroll down, see coaching. Oh, wait a minute. We've been seeing Howl Gouging Fires this whole time. What's wrong with coaching? Sneasel doesn't benefit from it. But you're kind of giving the attack boost that the Gouging Fire would have got as a defense boost to your partner. And then suddenly they can sweep through teams. Like a Chien-Pao, an Assault Vest Chien-Pao, the best Chien-Pao. I'm not having any of it. This is the best Chien-Pao. This with a coaching boost. We got the Assault Vest patching the special defense. You got the coaching patching the defense. This is great. And then you're actually OHKOing things with your attacks because you're +1. So, yeah, the Sneasler I thought was going to be very good, given it Terra Poison, because Diaclaw, Terra Poison with the Sword of Ruin, OHKO's Flutter Mane. So if you've Unburdened, it's pretty sweet. The White Herb is also really nice with Unburden in things like, well, Gouging Fire, Breaking Swipe. Suddenly, the Breaking Swipe gives you a speed boost, because you don't drop your attack. Oh, you're facing the Booster Energy Flutter Mane? Well, they've just gone for Icy Wind. Icy Wind has just doubled your speed rather than reducing it instead. So it's really, really nice. Like, the White Herb Sneezer is super sweet. And then the bulk is something, can't remember. Trust my own self. You've heard it a million times in the guides. So, yeah, like, the bulking it out has been very nice. It outspeeds Adamant Urshifu, because apparently over 2/3 of the single strike Urshifus are Adamant, so I'll outspeed them, thank you kindly. And then I outspeed almost every single booster speed Flutter Mane. I don't outspeed all of them if they got max speed, but if you're running booster speed Flutter Mane, you don't need max speed, so I should outspeed every reasonable booster energy Flutter Mane after they've Icy Winded me, or I've Unburdened myself. Then I've just rounded off the team. Like, I probably shouldn't talk too much about the team building process, because I need to get ready for, like, the tournament. The point of this is to practice. But anyway, Basket Legion was nice. Chien-Pao's great with the coaching. Landorus, that's just, Landorus is good at the moment. Roaring Moon I like as well. So that went 5-4 at the EUIC special event. It got me 30 CP. We'll take it. But like I said, I was bad. The team was good. I was bad. So I need to get good again. So that's what this serious tournament prep is for. For the PC, in the EUIC special event, I switched the Basket Legion into Ogerpon because, like, it just made sense at the time, based on what I was facing. And I was doing fine. I lost to a hard Trick Room team that ended up critting my Terra Poison Landorus when I was hopefully going to survive and sweep the game, but apparently not. But I still made mistakes in that set. If I'd have just Terra my Ogerpon, I'd have won as well. But that was on me. Like I said, I've been playing bad. So then I went to a PC just recently, as in like yesterday, as at the time of the recording. And then I still wanted to use the Magma Storm Heatran. You would have seen, I didn't even mention Body Press Iron Defense, like that was, like, these are filler moves, basically. But then the idea was, well, why can't I just pair a Yawn Pokemon with Heatran and treat it like the Tinglu Dondozo? But instead of Sand Tomb, I've got Magma Storm, which is way better, and then I just need a Yawn Pokemon. Oh, but Dondozo, it's not very good now that Ogerpon's a thing, because then if you just go Wave Crash Yawn and some filler attack, then Ogerpon is just really, really good against you. Well, then I go with Gastrodon instead, and that protects the Heatran with the Storm Drain. And if I just Terra Poison, Ogerpon's actually useless into Gastrodon and Heatran, because they've only got Grass-type attacks, and you're attacking a Poison type and a Fire and Steel type. So then the Gastrodon and Heatran came together, and I built some stuff around it, and it was fine. And I got top 8 in that PC. And made a mistake in game 3 on turn 1 when I didn't consider that my Baxcalibur would be OHKO'd by a combination of 2 attacks, because I thought it was going to survive against a non-burned Ursaluna, but I forgot it had Head on Rush. I thought I was going to live the Facade and Flare Blitz, but nope. So, I've combined the two together. So, I've got rid of the Basket Legion, and I've changed it to the Gastrodon, so I still have the idea of the Gastrodon on a Heatran, which actually is a pretty sweet lead. I've still got the coaching Sneasler paired with the Chien-Pao and all stuff, but the thing that was stopping me initially being Landorus Therian on the team was that if I were Landorus Therian, I have one special attacker in Heatran, because this was a Basket Legion. So this was Landorus Incarnate, just so I had 2 special attackers. What was it, Liverpool? I think it was Liverpool that I brought one special attacker in Prima Arena and then the rest were physical attackers, and that was already making me super uncomfortable. I'm going to try to avoid that in the future. I will always try and have at least 2 of one and 4 of another. So, yeah, now that the Gastrodon is a special attacker, and it definitely counts, even though it's not the strongest, it definitely counts, then that freed up me to be able to go for this Landorus Therian instead of the Landorus Incarnate, which would benefit from the coaching, is like why I wanted Therian more than Incarnate, because this would benefit more from the coaching. So, and with Choice Band and +1 from the coaching, you're OHKOing most things with your Flying Terrablast. So, and bulked itself out, because the Landorus I brought to the PC, I forgot to EV train, and it was still good. So now it's got actual EVs, and it had no speed, and it was still being fine. I've gone for a slower one, so that I can just bulk myself out completely. It's actually got, I think it's this, went with the same bulk as my Landorus Incarnate had, yeah. But then I've just changed the speed very slightly, and had a bit more offense. But, yeah, this is where I'm currently at. This might suck. This might still suck. But I think it's good. This was good. I was bad. This was good. I was bad. This felt okay, but I think it was worse than the Utrecht thing. So going back to mostly the Utrecht version, but now I have Gastrodon, I think is going to be, hopefully, well, at least that's the plan, a bit more effective. Anyway, I've been rambling for like 10 minutes. Let's just, actually get into some practice games. So should probably actually get on with that. This is a brand new account, so I might be facing, I was going to say, like, it's reasonable. There's a Rhyperior. Wouldn't expect to see a Rhyperior, and also a Tinglu. Not a fan of that Tinglu set. That's Storm Drain, and they're going to Ivy Cudgel themselves at one point. I'm going to call it now. But I've got Storm Drain as well, so yeah, Gastrodon looks really good. So I definitely want Gastrodon. I'm inclined to just lead with Gastrodon Heatran, and I think one of my intentions was just I will lead with Gastrodon Heatran every single game and just see what happens and what beats it. Because the idea is that, oh, this might actually be a super sweet combination and like meta call as well. So I'm going to lead with that. I'm going to see if I can get away with leading it most games. Landorus is very good here. Okay, Roaring Moon's pretty sweet. Sneasler isn't as good because they've got the Armor Tail. Chien-Pao is fine. I'm inclined to go Roaring Moon. So, it's Figgy Berry as well on the Rhyperior. Alright, so there is the Ogerpon and Incineroar. So what I can do is very safely just double protect it to start off with. And then I can Terra Poison my Gastrodon, Yawn and Magma Storm the Ogerpon, and then it is a useless slot. Because they can't switch, and they can't Horn Leech. Oh, well, they can Horn Leech, but it's rubbish, and they can't Ivy. Well, it's not Horn Leech, it's Wood Hammer. Okay, so I would do a bit more damage, but that would be fine. I could also consider switching Gastrodon out immediately into Landorus, get the Intimidate. Like, I was going to say eat up the Wood Hammer. It'd still hurt, but it means I don't use my Terror immediately. So I don't care about the Parting Shot. The point is the chip. So I'm going to go with this just because, like, I'm testing this. And the theory is that I beat Ogerpon if I just go for that Terra Poison. I'm considering, like, a grass-resisting Terra on Gastrodon. So I'm considering, I think it's like 7 of them. Because that's, like, what happens with the type chart. Poison at the moment, like, I don't think I want Steel because I have Heatran. I don't think I want Fire because I have Heatran. So I should probably go with something else. Dragon would be pretty reasonable. Oh, they're committing already. That's not a good play. Yeah, because that's not much. That's some recoil. Oh, they get rid of the lefties, okay. So that's actually reasonable. But now they're trapped and they're going to sleep next turn. So I can just double protect here pretty safely. And then next turn I can go... They outsped my... They did. So I can go for Magma Storm and Yawn into the Incineroar next turn. Because I'm slower with the Heatran. That's the intention. I'm slower than Incineroar. So that if they Parting Shot, I will trap the thing that they Parting Shot into. Rather than Magma Storming the Incineroar and then they switch. Unless they've got minus IVs on their Incineroar. Which they very reasonably could have. But this is still perfectly reasonable. They knock off the Heatran, then I'm going to miss my Magma Storms. I know it's 90% accurate anyway with the zoom lens, so I still can miss. But now they're asleep. Oh, they should have Parting Shotted themselves. I'm waiting for the first person to Parting Shot themselves as I double protect. But now I can go for Yawn and a Magma Storm. And I either catch the Incineroar, or I catch whatever switches in. Zoom lens still activates on the switch in, which is nice. There's Tinglu, so that is now stuck, assumedly. Nice. And that's now stuck as well. And I can just double protect here as well. Get some more normal Magma Storm going. So already you can see that this is working out pretty well. And it's against, like, reasonable Pokemon. Like, these three are reasonable Pokemon. I know I'm bottom of the ladder, so, like, you know. Still fine, they stay asleep, doesn't matter. Then, what's the most optimal thing to do now, then? How much did the wood hammer do? 31, so I will live. And they forfeit, nice. So, yeah. Oh, and they're gone. So, they just didn't want to deal with that. So, that's pretty sweet. I think because of just my rant and the fact that this will be like the first video and it's like an intro thing, then I'll just leave this episode here. But I'm sure there'll be plenty after this one where it'll be a lot longer and have much more games. But just for the sake of the first episode, see ya.